Okay, I think we've got everyone in the room, so we'll make a start. So hello and welcome to Wednesday's Weekly. This is your bite-sized briefing webinar, a collaboration between Action Together, the voluntary community and faith sector and the public sector. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this episode of our Cost of Living Crisis Series. Action Together are working with Oldham Council to welcome you every Wednesday between now and April to hear from the services and organisations that are working alongside you in Oldham, delivering critical help to support Oldham residents through the cost of living crisis. Okay, so without further ado, I'm really pleased to hand you over to Carrie-Ann, who will be taking us from here. Over to you, Carrie-Ann.
Hello, thank you, Laura. My name's Carrie-Ann Varey and I'm the HAF Manager over at Oldham Council. I just wanted to take the opportunity today to have a bit of a chat about HAF and explain if you don't know what it is, and if you do know, just to clarify any questions around the programme. So HAF stands for Holidays, Activity and Food Programme. This is a national scheme funded by the government via the DFE to ensure that children have access to food and activities over school holiday periods. So local authorities are required to work with partners to deliver 4 hours per day of 4 days per week for 1 week of the Easter holidays and for 1 week of the Christmas holidays, and 4 hours for 4 days of 4 weeks of the summer holidays. So we very quickly call that a 4x4 or a 4x4x4x4. So it's really catchy. The primary aim of the programme is to reduce isolation and holiday hunger. It's very specifically for children aged 5 to 16 years old who are in receipt of benefit-related free school meals. Any further information can be found on the government website on gov.com. So in Oldham, we have 50 providers and we're always growing. So we deliver around the borough. Our aim is to ensure that we've got a HAF provider within walking distance of every eligible child, and so far we've been able to achieve that. We've delivered, sorry, I'll just go back one screen if that's all right, Gemma. Sorry, thank you. We've delivered to almost 14,000 children. Where the scheme is very much in its adolescence. We had a pilot year in Oldham, and then we had our first full delivery year. We're now entering into our second delivery year, so hopefully our numbers will grow and grow and grow. The feedback from young people, children and providers has always been really wonderful, and we're so proud of that. And just to touch again on that eligibility criteria, it is very specifically for children that are in receipt of benefit-related free school meals. Quite often we would wonder why is it not open to everybody, and we would love it if it was open to everybody, but this pot of money is very, very specifically for those children. Any further conversations or discussions, we're more than happy to have around that. We'll move on now if that's all right, Gemma. Thank you. I feel like Matt Hancock. Next slide, please. We're so proud in Oldham of the range of activities that we're able to offer. This is just a very, very few on this slide. We offer kabaddi, we've got some coding, we have acting workshops, we've got a plethora of wonderful sports providers that do a variety of sports. So we have cricket, football, we have dancing, we quite often have rugby. We just have such a great amount, and it's always growing. Other local authorities have the opportunity of, ski slopes and lakes and reservoirs, and it seems in Oldham we're quite landlocked and we don't have a lot, but you would be amazed what our providers are able to put on for the young people. So it's wonderful. Again, we're always growing on that, so if you've got any hints or tips or ideas of what the young people would want, and we really try and do it with child mind focus, so what children want to do, we try and make sure that there's something like that available for them. Next slide, please. Thank you. So the key expectations of HAF are 6 very clear standards that all providers must meet. It's not necessarily that children can just come and grab something to eat. That in itself is great, but that's not what we offer. We offer an enriching activity, an activity that must build on a skill or be interesting and fun to them. We offer an hour a day of moderate to vigorous exercise to ensure that they're staying fit and healthy. We offer signposting to ensure that parents and families have got somewhere to turn if they need to, and that really re-emphasises the Oldham Council and Oldham way of no wrong front door. Quite often parents have a really good opportunity to speak to HAF providers at least once a week, and from there they get the opportunity to hear what other resources and support is available. And there should be a nutritional information throughout the HAF delivery. And again, that's very much a legacy in our town, ensuring that whilst children are having a really great time, they're having a healthy, happy, hot meal, they're also getting the opportunity to learn how to keep themselves happy and healthy. So it's really, really wonderful. All providers, where applicable, must have or be willing to secure the Quality in Action Award through Action Together. So we're really able to make sure that providers in Oldham are meeting those very high standards that the children of Oldham should, could and would expect. Next slide, please. So these are just our standards. This is just an age memoir of our standards for a little bit more information. I'm going to go into a bit more detail as we go on through the presentation, but this is what they look like. As I said, the 6 main standards are a healthy hot meal for every single session, enriching activities, physical activity of at least 60 minutes, nutritional information and elements throughout the day, signposting and referral ideally delivered for 1 hour at least per week for parents, and all the policies and procedures to the highest possible standard that we expect. They're our main 6 standards. So I'm going to bed into the standards a little bit more. This is really useful for providers that are wanting to run with us. We're always open to new providers approaching us, but these standards are the absolute bare minimum, and they're high standards by design. So providers must serve at least 1 hot meal a day. Of course, there's slight discretion when it comes to the summer weeks, and providers may choose to be out in the park and it's 30 degrees and not all children want a particularly hot meal. So we can look at that case by case, but very generally it would be a hot meal in substitute of what they would get at school if it was a school day. So we expect that all food matches the school food standards, and wherever possible it's locally sourced. And it must comply with all regulations of food preparation, and allergy guidance must be taken into account. So we must follow the Natasha's law very, very closely. And of course, any religious or cultural requirements for food should be considered throughout. The activities, we should have at least 1 physical activity every single day. You'd be amazed how many guises that takes. In some providers, they do the daily mile. Some providers are sports all day long. Other providers will do a TikTok dance, which young people seem to really enjoy. And some will do either a Zumba class that they've brought someone in to do with them, or they'll do it from YouTube. So there's so many different ways that the physical activities can be met. Again, it should always be child-led, it should be something enjoyable. And the enriching activities, it's really, really vital that they're actually developing a new skill or knowledge. This isn't school. There's no expectation that they have to learn something and come away with a certificate at the end of the week. But there must be something that they really, really want to do, and it must draw them in, really. It gives them the opportunity to try out new experiences. This is really key to the programme because it provides parity amongst children. What we don't want in Oldham is when everybody gets back after the summer holidays and the teacher says, "What did you do?" And some people say, "I went to Euro Disney, and I went to Centre Parks, and I went to Florida." And someone else says, "So I didn't really get the chance to do anything, and I sat in front of the TV." No, in Oldham we want them to be able to say, "I did a week acting class with Oldham Theatre Workshop, I did a rugby camp, I learned how to code, I wrote a play in a creative writing class." We want them to be able to have really great parity with all of their colleagues and peers, and we just want them to have the most wonderful summer. And the enriching activities is really key for this. This is a draw, this is what makes the young people want to choose that particular camp. The nutritional information is absolutely vital. It's about us staying healthy in Oldham. It's about embedding those ideas really, really early to children from the youngest age, that your health in your body is down to you to keep healthy. So providers must include an element of nutritional information each day. And again, this takes on lots and lots of different guises. So it could be a talk around nutritional information, and for some learners that's really, really key. For others, it can be activities that are linked to nutritional information. Quite a lot of providers make a quick smoothie for the lunch, and they talk about the fruit and the veg that are going into the smoothie. Again, it's really amazing when you get out to see the providers how much they can do to embed nutritional information into young people. And again, the food education for families and carers, it's really hard to feed children on a budget in a really healthy and tasty way. That can feel like such a daunting task, particularly going forward. We're in a position where people don't want to be using a lot of energy. We're in a cost of living crisis, and gas and ovens isn't in abundance anymore. So it's really key that we're getting people that know and have got those best skills and best advice placed. to give to parents and families. So we always ask that there's at least 1 hour a week of nutritional information for families and carers. They may not choose to take it up, but if you've got that offer there, then they've always got the option. And again, that's really about leaving a legacy in our town of people being able to make healthy and engaging nice food and having that information. And finally, we've got a really, really important signposting key. Again, back to that, there's no wrong front door. We have lots and lots of different agencies in Oldham that are really happy to come out and talk to families. So again, that could be part of the hour a week. But as an absolute bare minimum, families should be able to come to a HAF delivery site to pick up or drop off their child and be able to access information around leaflets and signposting and different things like that. And for providers, we'll always help, as the council will always help to ensure that you've got the best and most up-to-date information. But we absolutely love it when providers run with it and they invite you know, the housing association in, or they invite someone from a dental practice in. It's really a key to give information to families when they're accessing HAF. For anybody that would think that they would like to be a HAF provider, again, please have a conversation with us, but it's really key that we set out up front that there are reporting requirements. As previously mentioned, the DFE fund this programme, and understandably they want information around it. So providers give that to us and then we aggregate it and provide it to the DFE. Sometimes it can feel a little bit burdensome for providers, but it's really, really key. All data is handled responsibly and in line with GDPR, so there's no concerns for families or parents. But if you are considering being a provider, if you want to reach out to me, we can have a conversation around what the reporting requirements are, because they do make up a really key aspect of the programme. The key dates, expressions for interest for our Easter delivery close today, close of business today. So still a bit of time. There's not very much time, but there is still some. Our booking website will be going live on or about the 6th of March. What that means is that children and families will be able to access the Oldham Council website to see what HAF delivery is available, what's in their area, what's in their interest set, and they'll be able to book from there. The Easter holidays fall between the 3rd of April and the 14th of April this time. We try to make sure that there's something on each day for young people to access. And I know that different schools break up at different times, and we are very mindful of that when we're considering our moderation. Ramadan falls throughout our Easter delivery this time, and that will be taken into account. So we'll be making sure that there's some slightly later delivery times for families that want to access. And we'll be looking at how the food works around that. Again, we've not had our moderation yet because our expressions of interest closed today, but that's going to be at the forefront of our mind when we're making our planning. We will be delivering again over the summer. So whilst it's probably a little bit late for any providers to reach out now, not too late, but could be, please reach out to me and we can consider how we would work together going forward in the summer. And that's everything. That's a really whistle-stop tour of HAF. It's a huge project and there's lots and lots, but I don't want to bore you very much with it. I'll bore you a bit, but not very, very much. So if there's any questions, obviously we've got this opportunity to talk today, but please also reach out to us at the Oldham HAF at Oldham web email address or via the website, and we're more than happy to speak to anybody, whether it be the children, the families, the carers, or potential providers, or anybody that wants to team up and has got any ideas that they can put forward to us. So they're my contact details. I am and have been Carrie-Ann Varey.
And you have absolutely not been boring in the slightest.
Oh, bless you, Gemma. I think you're amazing how you can just tell by like the flick of an eyebrow to move to the next slide. They needed you in the briefings, didn't they?
Some are easier than others to predict.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, well, just before we go into questions, Carrie-Ann, just a massive thank you. Really, you know, lots of people have heard about HAF and have been, you know, either involved or not, but actually just hearing the detail and seeing it just really brings it to life, and it's so helpful for us all to kind of understand all the different I didn't know how much actually was involved in terms of the nutritional stuff, in terms of the signposts, so all the additional stuff, that the detail really is so helpful to understand, and I think everyone on the calls found that really useful.
Oh, thank you.